One of the best things about the Nintendo 64 Online on Switch is just how many of these retro classic games and lost gems we're finally able to replay, and there are so many more incredible N64 games that could be added to the service, so let's have a look at 10 of them. How's it going, you wonderful people? It's Jay, and in today's video let's look at some of the more rare, weird and unusual N64 games that really need to be brought back on the Nintendo Switch. So let's get started. A unique cult favourite, Space Station Silicon Valley, would be great to see return on Nintendo Switch Online. It's a unique puzzle platformer that takes place on a futuristic space station where you take control of a little robot ball called Evo. Evo navigates through all sorts of unique environments, taking control of animals to get by. One of the things that makes Space Station Silicon Valley stand out is that quirky sense of humour. It's packed full of weird and wonderful creatures and that kind of 90s style of wackiness. It's a lost Nintendo 64 gem that would really be great to see added on Switch. With one of the best OSTs out there, Bomberman Hero is a must-have that needs to be added to Nintendo 64 Online on Switch. Bomberman Hero is a 3D platformer that puts you in the shoes of the mighty Bomberman as you navigate these unique 3D worlds with a limitless bag of explosives. Huge levels, an incredible soundtrack by the awesome Jun Chikishima, and tons of secrets make it a fun but super challenging adventure. It's a unique little platformer that deviated from the old top-down format and made it really a thing of its own. It's a Nintendo 64 classic that you need to play. Nintendo 64 had all sorts of weird and wonderful games, including Snowboard Kids. This classic is a snowboarding game that puts the little fun spin on the sport. Think 1080 snowboarding meets Mario Kart. Quirky items, a unique cast, and ton of fun slopes make it a super fun, happy slide. Bombs, shields, boosts, it's all fair game as you dash down the slopes. Throw in a fun 4-player multiplayer mode for a great alternative to Mario Kart, and one that definitely needs to be added again to Nintendo 64 Online on Switch. Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man can. This Nintendo 64 gem is an absolute beast, putting you in the shoes of our web-slinging hero. Navigate classic 3D set pieces, wrap up baddies in sticky webs, and battle a familiar villain that's wreaking havoc on the city. This classic game is packed full of all that classic sassy Spidey humour, timeless and familiar foes, and is one of the closest adaptations to the 90s cartoon that we really love. It's a must-have on Switch if, of course, licensing permits. Balls. Big bouncy balls. Anyone? Iggy's Wrecking Balls is definitely one of the more bizarre games for the Nintendo 64, as you zip around as balls, using momentum and gravity to dash to the finish. Think marbles, but with wacky, bouncing balls. It looks bonkers, and it really is, especially when you dip into the game with your friends. This unique little gem would be great to see added to the Nintendo 64 Online on Switch, especially for the multiplayer alone. One of the most loved and kind of rarer Nintendo 64 games that needs to return to Nintendo Switch has to be Mischief Makers. It's a kind of 2D platformer that puts you in the shoes of a robot maid called Marina. You set out to save her creator from an invasion from an evil empire. It's a unique platforming gem that uses the D-pad for a more classic feel as you swing through different, unique and quirky stages. It's challenging and one of the more unique classics on the Nintendo 64. It's about time we bring back Mischief Makers. It wouldn't be a video about Nintendo 64 classics without mentioning the awesome Diddy Kong Racing. It's a huge karting game full of awesome furry characters, karts, planes and hovercraft. This rareware gem is still one of the best kart racing games ever. Packed full of content to unlock, a great stage selection and a huge adventure mode just to gobble up. Being able to play Diddy Kong Racing online with friends would be incredible. It's a must-have for Switch. One of the more unusual fighting games on the Nintendo 64 has to be Fighter's Destiny. Instead of simply pummeling your foes with punches and kicks, this time round use a medley of throws and holds to defeat your rivals. I picked this one up in a bargain bin many years ago and became instantly hooked. The quirky characters, the unique fighting system, and focus on strategy over simply combos made it a great gem for the Nintendo 64. It's definitely a unique little game that would be great to see added to the N64 Online on Switch. One of the best shooters of all time, and on the Nintendo 64, it could only be Perfect Dark. A meaty first-person shooter that took what GoldenEye did and amplify it with futuristic alien invasion stories, espionage, conspiracy, and a whole arsenal of unique weapons. You play as Joanna Dark, a secret agent who must complete various missions to uncover a sinister plot. This N64 classic still holds up to the test of time. It features groundbreaking multiplayer, story, and unique weapons to get your paws on. Having this added to Nintendo 64 Online on Switch would be great to see. The last game on the list is the mighty Donkey Kong 64, a game that many fans have craved for years. It was on the Wii U, so it's incredibly likely that it would be added to Nintendo 64 Online on Switch as well. Take control of DK and his simian buddies as you wander through awesome 3D platforming stages, collect items, solve puzzles, and discover unique secrets that lurk within DK Island. Each of the playable Kongs are an absolute treat to play as, and it's something that made Donkey Kong 64 truly stand out, especially when you stack it up with games like Banjo-Kazooie. So there we go, just 10 of these incredible retro games that really do deserve a place on the Nintendo 64 app on Switch. Hopefully, if licensing permits, the Nintendo will bring some of these classics back. Which N64 games would you guys like to see? Drop a comment below and let us know. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. And if you love Nintendo and all that good retro stuff, be sure to join our Discord. We're trying to build up a little community of awesome Nintendo fans, and we'd love to have you. Links are below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And before you move on to the next video, be sure to check out our exclusive merch, geeky and gaming designs voted for by you. Links are below. So there we go, Nintendo 64 Online on Switch. So many great games. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye.